Mike Eife, number 41, of the class of 2013, was a 5'7" package of dynamite, creating explosions all over the battlefield on offense and defense. From his outside linebacker position, Eife would fill the passing lanes and would foresee a quarterback's throw, stepping in to make what seemed to be an easy interception, but one set up by his anticipation. He would also blitz from the outside on critical passing downs, and like a wolverine barreling along the ground, would take out the legs of an unsuspecting quarterback. Mike Eife also excelled on the other side of the ball, usually as a lead blocking back, but his explosiveness showed up on offense as well. He was a fine receiver out of the backfield, and his long touchdown on a center screen against Roman Catholic in a playoff game in his senior year broke the back of the Cahalites. Eife always seemed to fly under the radar on the field, but would suddenly surface to blow something up at an opportune time. He was a first-team All-Catholic selection in his senior year as a multi-purpose player on offense, and he added second-team honors at both fullback and linebacker. So when you think of LaSalle football, remember Mike Eife, class of 2013. John Deany, numbers 22 and 20, of the class of 1971, was a track star in football clothing. Often playing the lonesome end position, Deany would indeed be lonesome for most of the game in Tex Flannery's ground and pound offense of the time. But on those occasions when Deany's number was called and the pass went out to him on the wide side of the field, a combination of magic and electricity would strike. Deany had great hands and a great first step, typical of track stars. When the ball was finally in his hands, the magic started, and he would dodge initial tacklers with ease and penetrate swiftly into the secondary, where the electricity took over. John Deany would make would-be tacklers look like they were standing still at first, and then look foolish with a lunge at him that grabbed nothing but air. His ability to cut on a dime while at full speed was like watching an uncaged cheetah race across the grassy field. John Deany may not have garnered all Catholic honors, but the electric results when this roadrunner got the ball into his hands was a sight you'll never forget. So when you think of LaSalle football, remember John Deany, class of 1971. Ed Sabia, numbers 83, 49, and 45 of the class of 2002, is a shining star in the rich legacy of the Sabia family's contribution to LaSalle football. A 3-year starter at linebacker, Sabia played on the outside, and his speed and quickness allowed him to pursue sideline to sideline. He was a sure tackler with great strength, and he filled the holes quickly and definitively on ball carriers running to daylight. Ed Sabia could also drop back in pass coverage, and he intercepted several passes over his 3-year career. Sabia also doubled on offense at the fullback position in his junior and senior years, leading the blocking for tailbacks like Ryan Parfit and Sean Miller. He also wandered out of the backfield to snag some passes and rumble down the field, knocking over would-be tacklers. Ed Sabia was a rock-solid defender, and he attained first-team All-Catholic honors in his junior and senior seasons, as well as first-team All-City in his senior year. So when you think of LaSalle football, remember Ed Sabia, class of 2002. Howard Guarini, number 25 of the class of 1960, was a backup halfback as his junior year unfolded in the 1958 campaign. The situation changed dramatically for the 5'5" Guarini when the starting quarterback was lost for the season due to injury, and head coach Tex Flannery turned to his backup halfback to lead the offense. After a loss to St. James, the Little Explorers ran off 6 straight wins to clinch their second consecutive Catholic League championship, and Howard Guarini was a major part of their success, with his ability to bootleg, to pass accurately, and most importantly, his ability to call a game. In his senior year, Guarini led his team to a Catholic League playoff game against Monsignor Bonner. Although that game against the Friars ended in a loss, Howard Guarini established himself as a major contributor on 2 LaSalle teams that went a combined 16-4-0. Howard Guarini won second-team All-Catholic honors in his senior year after being honorable mention the previous year. Most of all, the unexpected quarterback was a leader and a winner with his teammates and the LaSalle faithful. So when you think of LaSalle football, remember Howard Guarini, class of 1960. Mike Donohoe, number 11 of the class of 2009, also comes from a legendary 3-generation LaSalle football family. Like his older brothers, his dad, and his 2 grandfathers before him, he was a rugged, versatile, no-nonsense warrior on the field. Donahoe's 3 varsity seasons saw him at quarterback, fullback, punter, defensive back, and linebacker, providing much-needed glue on both sides of the ball. In his senior year, Mike Donohoe netted all Catholic honors as a punter and a fullback and provided the valuable senior leadership to bring the Explorers back to a Catholic League championship. He was a great pass receiver out of the backfield, and in his senior year he gained over 400 yards rushing and 400 yards receiving, while scoring 9 touchdowns. He played quarterback a bit in his sophomore year, but turned the reins over to stellar signal callers like John Harrison and Drew Lockery in his upper-class years. But there was one memorable time when Donahoo would throw the ball on a 2-point play to Lockery in the Catholic League Championship game in 2008. Mike Donohoe was a lunch pail type of athlete, earning his keep by getting the job done all over the field at a variety of positions. So when you think of LaSalle football, remember Mike Donohoe, class of 2009.